So how did the bullying start?
Bullying started with me and a friend, and we were good friends. We'd had problems before, but we got over them and we became friends again, and everything was alright. And then this one day, I went out and she wasn't very happy because I went out with some of my friends I hadn't seen for months. And she wasn't very happy, so it started with her not being happy. I was hanging out with my friends. And after a while of like just snarky comments and dirty looks, it got to like on Facebook, and like beyond like my photos should be like, oh, it's such a weird smile and you need to go just get that checked out or something. And it's quite strange. It was just like at first I don't think it was intentional, but then eventually it started to seem like it was on purpose. I don't like many people knowing that I get like help and that I need help. And my teacher came in one day and her best friend was sat in the same room, and it kind of just, she blurted out, oh yeah, everything's ready. And I was like, because it was meant to kind of be like, I didn't want anyone knowing unless I told them. And that's where it kind of set me off. And then I went home and my mom asked why I was starting to hang out with my other friends a lot more. And then I like broke down crying because I was really upset about it. And my mom, she's furious. She's like, why is this happening? That teacher shouldn't have just come in and said that. And then it got to the point where the whole bullying situation came out. And my mom was ready to just call her mother. And I was like, no, don't do that. I just don't do that. And I didn't really want her to come to school. But the next day, she came in and she spoke to one of the teachers. And I knew deep down that my mom would come in, but I was kind of hoping she wouldn't. So he took me to his office and then we spoke about it. And because by the time I told my mom, it was about a week after, nothing had really happened because we stopped speaking. He said it would be best not to do anything because if it did get to the point where her mom would come in and it would get a lot worse because she's that type of person to just keep doing it, and her mom possibly could have been like, yeah, keep doing it. Mm-hmm. So he said, we won't do anything about it, but if anything happens, come see me and she'll be suspended straight away. But when he said, if anything happens, tell me and she'll be suspended, I was like, oh, okay then. So that was helpful.
So you were surprised at that?
Yeah, I was surprised at the fact, because he's like a very passionate teacher when it comes to bullying. If there's any bullying, he's very strict with it. But when he said she'd be suspended, I was like, oh, okay then. So that from then I've been kind of like, if anything does happen, and I was kind of worried something else would happen because of the teacher coming in, but nothing happened after that. She doesn't speak to me, she ignores me even if it's like, just has to be just a normal conversation. Her two friends that used to be my close friends as well, they stopped talking to me for a while, but they've started to speak to me again. But now, if we saw each other or had to deal with each other in school, we'd be very civil, or we talk if we had to.
And so how long did it go on from sort of start until it tailed off?
Well, I only think it went on for a few weeks, but my other friends were like, no, when we've been watching her with you, she's always been really horrible, and it's kind of like unintentional bullying. So they think it was on for a few months, because I didn't notice it. They only pointed it out at the final few weeks.
And how did you feel during that time?
I was kind of sad because we were good friends, and then all of a sudden, just because I hung out with them for one weekend, she got really pissed. And it did suck, but I was always kind of worried that she'd come up to me and just say something, but it never happened. So it was kind of like a bit of scared, but also kind of really upset.
So it started, you think, because she was upset or annoyed that you'd spent time with
Yeah, because she didn't really like my other friends, and I hadn't hung out with them for months because I was her friend.
What helped you during the time when you really noticed it happening?
My friends, when they were like, oops, don't worry about it, And then when the teacher found out, he was very helpful. He was like, if you need to talk, you can come in. If anything does happen, just tell me. And it was, yeah.
So what advice would you give to somebody else in the same situation?
As soon as, if it only happens like once or twice, maybe like just talk to your friends about it. But if it gets to the point where it's constant, maybe go see someone, because the teachers probably will do something about it. And go to your mom or your dad, whoever you feel more comfortable with, because it can be very supportive.
So telling your parents is a good thing?
I would say so, yes. As long as you can calm them down.
Okay, and what happened then? So did it stop then? They're just unpleasant comments. So what did you do?